Namaste everyone. I am Dr. Rahul Kaushik, Assistant Professor at Ramesh Institute of Vocational and Technical Education, Greater Noida. We are affiliated to Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam Technical University, Lucknow. Today, I am going to take one of the important topic in your herbal drug technology syllabus, which is mentioned in Unit 4 as stability testing or stability studies of herbal medicinal products as per ICH and WHO guidelines. So the contents we are going to cover, it includes the stability studies and their need for herbal products, the stability study types and the methods we can use, variations and special conditions for herbal medicinal products, challenges and protocols for herbal testing, for stability testing, conclusion and summary. Before moving further, we should understand what stability studies are. So, in a more concise manner, we can define stability testing as an obligatory or compulsory requirement in the registration process for all the medicinal products, including herbal medicinal products. So, it is the compulsory requirements from the registration authorities, like if we talk about India, it is the requirement of Ayush, which are regulating the Ayurveda, Unani and Siddha medicine. So it is an obligatory requirement of the registering authority for all the medicinal plants or medicinal products, herbal medicinal products. These tests are performed to define the storage conditions where it is to be stored and the product's shelf life, the life up to which the product consumption is safe. So if we talk about the need of stability studies, why we need the stability studies for herbal drug product, since we have a perception that generally herbal product they are very stable for a longer period of time, but there are certain constraints regarding their storage condition and their shelf life. So there is a need, the very first parameter which defines the need of stability studies, the well-being of the patient and the manufacturer by ensuring the product quality. For selection of adequate formulation, determination of shelf life and storage condition is required. Preparation and substantiation of the claimed shelf life for the registration dossier to get registered in the from the regulatory authorities. This is the very first requirement in case you want to sell your drug on the international market. To provide evidences on how the quality of the drug or your product varies with time under the influence of environment. So these are the requirements, or these are the needs why we carried out the stability studies. If we talk about the herbal preparation and the herbal drugs or herbal products, these are complex in nature due to the high number of constituents of different classes present in them. They are classified entirely on the basis of active pharmaceutical ingredients, like we have in case of alkaloids, or in case of glycoside, we define them on the basis of their pharmaceutical ingredients, like cardiac glycosides. These are those chemical constituents which are glycosides, and they have significant action, pharmacological action on the cardiac or on your heart. European Medicinal Agency EMEA has subdivided herbal preparations into three categories based on the active constituents in the product, and these are standardized extract, like the extracts of slimarin in Salibum marianum; quantified extract, here we quantify the content of main chemical constituent like hypericins in the Hypericum perforatum, and the other extract which are classified, uh, which includes the drug product which contains like volatile oil or rose water extracts or clove extracts or clove volatile oil. So these are the classification mentioned by the European agencies for herbal drug product. If we look at the mechanisms that affects the stability, we know very well that our drug product quality affects due to light. The quality is having effect of the moisture and hydrolysis. The drug is having effect of oxidation, geometric isomerization, polymerization, or temperature. So if we take the light, there are many chemical substances present in our drug product that changes due to the exposure to light, and that can be due to the oxidation, auto oxidation of the phytochemicals. For example, the volatile oils, they undergo auto oxidation when exposed to light, and this is the reason why mostly volatile oils, they are stored in amber colored bottle in order to prevent their auto oxidation. If we talk about the effect of moisture and hydrolysis on our drug product, there are reactions with water that leads to degradation of the compound, and it can also leads to growth of the microbes and fungus in your drug product, which indirectly or which directly leads to degradation of your drug product and decreases its shelf life. The effect of oxidation: the addition of oxygen results in the formation of radicals and the decomposition of your drug product. There are examples of geometric isomerization where trans and cis forms, one form may be more therapeutically active. Here are the examples uh, where one isomer changes into another isomer during storage conditions, and it might be possible that the isomeric form which you have packaged in your drug product, it might not be present when it reaches to the customer. So for example, we use L-hyoscyamine as an effective medication. So if it occurs, the transition occur, or if geometric isomerization occurs in the drug product while storage, and if instead of L-hyoscyamine, if D-hyoscyamine reaches to the customer, then its efficacy is probably decreased. There are instances where polymerization occurs of your drug product, a combination of one or more molecules forming a larger molecule. There are various small moieties. Say for example, you have dispensed amino acids, but they have converted into proteins. So these kind of polymerization can also takes place while storage. So we have to ensure that such things should not be there or should not take place while storing. So this is a need of stability testing. There's an effect of temperature. The chemical changes increases with increase in temperature. So temperature is also having a significant effect on the quality of your phytochemicals, or the nature or the identity of your phytochemicals. As the temperature increases, the rate of chemical reaction increases, and there are chances that you won't get the product which is dispensed or packed by the manufacturer. Let's discuss a case of Thymus densis. Here, Thymus densis volatile oil, it consists of various phytochemicals, and the major ones are alpha pinene, myrcene, parathymine, gamma terpene, thiamol, and carbacerol. After extraction, when fresh, when you have extracted the oil in the fresh form, the concentration of alpha pinene, it is 4.3%, that of myrcene, it is 2.9%, parathymine 8.3%, gamma terpene 10.1%, thiamol and carbacerol, the concentration ranges from 27.4 and 28.8%. So this is the concentration of phytochemicals in your volatile oil when you have isolated. But upon storage, we have seen that the concentration varies significantly of the phytochemicals. The concentration of alpha-pinene, it decreased to 0.5% from 4.3%. The concentration of myrcene decreased to 0.4% from 2.9%. The concentration of parathymine is also decreased to half. The concentration of gamma terpinene is also decreased to half. The concentration of thiamol and carbacarol increases from 27.4 to 34.7 and 28.8 to 35.7. This is all due to the biotransformation takes place, where one chemical moiety is converted into another chemical moiety upon storage. So we have to take it into consideration while our stability studies or while establishing the shelf life of our product. We must ensure that our storage condition or our shelf life should be such that the end consumer should get what he purchased. Another case of Catharanthus roseus, if we look at the effect of ultraviolet light on the total content of Vinca rosea, we have ultraviolet light. We have two segments of ultraviolet light, UVA and UVB. It is on the basis of their wavelengths. So the presence of ultraviolet light B increases the total flavonoid contents in Catharanthus roseus or Vinca rosea. The concentration of vinblastine rapidly biotransforms to vincristine in the presence of UVA light. It means that there is a biotransformations in which vinblastine is transformed to vincristine, which increases the concentration of vincristine when the drug is exposed to ultraviolet A light. So if we talk about the International Community Harmony ICH guidelines and long-term stability conditions, so if you look at the climatic zone, the ICH has divided the world into 5 climatic zone: climatic zone 1, 2, 3, 4A and 4B. So they are on the basis of their on the basis of hello everyone, this is in continuation with my previous video. So the ICH has divided the world into 5 zones, climate on the basis of their climatic conditions. On the areas where temperate climate is there, it has been designated as climatic zone 1, which includes the countries like United Kingdom, Northern Europe and US, where the average temperature is about 15 degrees Celsius, not more than 15 degrees Celsius. And long term testing conditions for these areas is 21 degree Celsius with a relative humidity of 45%. In case of subtropical and Mediterranean climate, which is defined as climatic zone 2, and it includes the countries like Japan and Southern Europe. Here the temperature is less than 15 to 22 degrees Celsius, and here long term testing condition, if we talk about, the conditions are 25 degrees Celsius with a relative humidity of 60%. In case of hot and dry climate like we experiences in India and Iraq, the climatic zone is designated as the third climatic zone, or climatic zone 3. Here the temperature is more than 22 degrees Celsius. So here for long term testing condition, there is a requirement of 30 degrees Celsius temperature and 35% relative humidity. In case of hot and humid climate, which include Iran and Egypt, it is divided in the climatic zone 4A. Here the temperature is more than 22 degrees Celsius, and for long term testing condition, the temperature requirement is 30 degrees Celsius and the relative humidity requirement is 65%. In the case of climatic zone which is very hot and very humid, the it is designated as the climatic zone 4B, and it includes the areas like Brazil and Singapore, where the average temperature is more than 22 degrees Celsius. So here the long term testing conditions, they are prescribed by ICH, they are 30-degree temperature and 75% relative humidity. So these are the types of stability test methods. We have accelerated testing method, where the product is subjected to high temperature, high humidity and light exposure. 40-degree temperature and 75% relative humidity is maintained in accelerated testing conditions, and the testing is done at 3rd and 6th month. In real time, which is a long term testing procedure, here the temperature of 25 to 30 degrees Celsius and relative humidity of 35 to 75% depending upon the climatic zone is maintained for a longer duration of time, and the testing is done at the 3rd, 6th, 9th, 12th, 18th, 24th and 36th month. For intermediate testing, which are conducted when accelerated studies fail, an average temperature of 25 degrees Celsius for longer duration of time is maintained. There is a type of testing which is called a stress testing, which includes the effect of temperature. A temperature of above 40 degrees Celsius and a relative humidity of more than 75 is maintained for stress testing condition. In case of forced degradation testing, where the drug is forced to degrade, is performed to provide intrinsic stability assessment of the drug. Here we evaluate the intrinsic ability of a drug to be stable. Stability testing storage conditions for drug as per ICH and WHO. So here we have two columns. This is the column where ICH guidelines are there, and this is the column where WHO guidelines are there for temperature and humidity to be maintained for stability study method, for stability test method, and the drug, and for the drug which are intended to be stored at room temperature or refrigerated or in the freezer. For the drugs which are intended to be stored at a room temperature, for long term stability testing, a temperature of 25 plus minus 2 degrees Celsius with a relative humidity of 60 plus minus 5% is prescribed by ICH, and similar is prescribed by WHO, along with two other guidelines like 30 degree plus minus 2 degrees Celsius at relative humidity of 65 plus minus 5% relative humidity, or 30 plus minus 2 degrees Celsius temperature and 75 plus minus 5% relative humidity. For intermediate stability testing method, an average temperature of 30 plus minus 2 degrees Celsius and 65 plus minus 5% relative humidity is prescribed by ICH, and similar prescription is there in case of WHO. If we look at the accelerated stability testing method, an average temperature of 40 plus minus 2 degrees Celsius and relative humidity of 75 plus minus 5% is prescribed by ICH, and similar is prescribed by WHO for accelerated stability testing. For the drugs which are intended to be stored in refrigerator, for long term study, 5 degrees Celsius or ambient temperature is prescribed by ICH, and similar temperature requirement is prescribed by WHO with an error of plus minus 3 degrees Celsius. For accelerated testing, ICH has prescribed 25 plus minus 2 degrees Celsius with relative humidity of 60 plus minus 5%, and WHO prescribed similar conditions for accelerated stability testing conditions for those products which are intended to be refrigerated. For the products which are intended to be freeze dried or freezer, which are to be kept in freezer, for long term stability studies, an minus 20 degree temperature is prescribed by ICH, and minus 20 degrees Celsius plus minus 5 degrees Celsius temperature is prescribed by WHO. So these are the various conditions or temperature and relative humidity conditions which are prescribed by ICH and WHO for carrying out stability testing for storage condition for the herbal drugs. So if we talk about the test schedule for stability testing of new products, the ICH and WHO has also prescribed the test schedule for stability of new products. So these are differentiated on the basis of methods and climatic zone. So we have already talked about the environmental condition or the testing conditions which have been mentioned in previous slide. So here we will discuss these are already mentioned the conditions. If we look at the method, long term stability study for climatic zone 1 and 4, the time point for sampling are 3rd, 6th, 9th, 12th, 18th, 24th and 36th month. For long term studies in climatic zone 3 like in India and Iraq, the time for sampling is 3rd month, 6th month, 9th month, 12th month, 18th month, 24th month and 36th month. For long term study for climatic zone 4A and intermediate for zone 1 and zone 2, the sampling is done at 3rd, 6th, 9th, 12th, 18th, 24th and 36th month. For long term study for climatic zone 4B and intermediate zone for an intermediate stability study for zone 1 and 2, the sampling is done at 3rd, 6th, 9th, 12th, 18th, 24th and 36 months. For accelerated conditions for all the zones, for accelerated stability testing for all the zones, an environmental condition of 40 degrees Celsius temperature and 75% relative humidity is maintained and the samples are tested at 3rd and 6th months. So these are the test schedule which has to be maintained for studying the stability studies of drug products. So the stability testing of herbal drugs, if we talk about the guidelines on stability testing of drug substances and related finished products were established for chemically defined substances. So the guidelines which we have studied, they are well established for chemically defined substances and therefore does not take account for the particular cases of herbal medicinal products. However, there are certain relaxation for herbal drug products, like herbal drug substances should only be tested at 25 degrees Celsius at a relative humidity of 60% with no requirements for accelerated or intermediate testing. So these are the relaxations from the ICH for herbal drugs. If we talk about the challenges in stability testing of our herbal drug product, since the active substance is herbal medicinal products, since the active substances in herbal medicinal product consist of a complex mixture of constituents and most of the markers and their therapeutic effects are unknown. So this is the reason behind or the challenges behind the stability or in the challenges in the stability testing of our herbal drug. Another challenge is that many herbal compounds are unstable. Hence, a set of test criteria including qualitative and quantitative parameter has been recognized as quality indicating. Next, in combination formulations, different substances having similar constraints give rise to analytical challenges. Different studies are conducted during 1 year for such changes. So the entire scenario is different in the case of herbal drug product. So we have to look for new guidelines from the ICH which are is strictly dedicated to the herbal drug testing or herbal stability testing. If we look at the best selection and testing condition, best selection for carrying out the stability testing for formal stability studies, these are conducted on at least 3 primary batches. Stability performed on each individual strength and container size till bracketing. For long-term stability studies, on at least 3 batches performed under natural conditions. For ongoing stability studies, all products have to be tested at least one batch per year. Wherever appropriate, bulk products are also to be tested for stability, and it applies to everyone, every dosage and packing size and type for stability testing. So if we have checked the stability testing of 100 gram Triphala Churna, then if we are planning to dispense our 250-gram Triphala Churna, then we must determine the stability of both the packages of both 100-gram package and 250-gram package. This is the requirement. So if we talk about the parameters which are to be studied while performing the stability study, we perform the organoleptic studies where we look for the color, we look for the odor and taste of the herbal drug product. We also perform physicochemical analysis where we determine the pH of the drug product at 1% solution and 10% solution. We also determine the extractive value at various times. We determine the ash value, both acid insoluble ash and total ash, and we also look for moisture content which is present in the drug over the period of time. There are other parameters which are to be studied in the stability testing of herbal drug. A specific biomarker if there it is available. Group of compounds, we should also estimate the total alkaloidal content, total phenolic content, total glycosidal content, and the total group of compounds at every interval of time for determining the stability, in order to check the effect of storage conditions or effect of temperature, effect of light, or effect of storage on the concentration of these group of compounds. We can also perform reference to comparable herbal formulation. If we are having a standard formulation, we can also compare the results with the reference compound, and we can also go for fingerprinting profile of our drug product at variable times, like on the 3rd month, on the 6th month, 9th month, 12th month, 18th month, 24th month and 36th month, in order to see whether there is a change in the number of compound in the chromatogram which we obtained in the 3rd month, 6th month or other period of time. We will also go for microbiological analysis to determine the total microbial count in our drug product at every time period which have been mentioned in the guidelines. There are certain special conditions which has to be taken into account while performing the stability studies for herbal drugs. Limit of assay of plus minus 5% of the declared value shall be applied to the standardized extract or drugs with low marker concentration. The range shall be widened to plus minus 10% or even higher. Influence of climate, natural variation in marker shall be taken into account. Since marker content cannot be defined to a specific level, the relative changes from starting value are 95 to 105% or 90 to 10% from the initial value. Any analytical marker is stable in herbal substances and in solid dosage forms, but it is unstable in liquid dosage form, so this thing has to be kept in mind. This can be solved by various means by using a stable marker for carrying out the studies. We can choose a stable marker whose concentration remains constant for different testing purpose at different times. So if we talk about the protocols for stability testing of herbal drug product, first we have to go for the selection of batches and samples as per the guidelines, then the test attributes to be performed, analytical procedures performed, acceptance criteria. If your drug passes the limits, then your drug product is accepted. So you have to establish the acceptance criteria. A storage condition and storage period should be defined. Testing frequency should be well defined. The sampling plan should be defined. Container closure system should be defined. Evaluation should be carried out using SOPs and the statements labeling. Whatever you have found, you should mention in the documents, and your label of the product should contain the information of the stability of drug product and its shelf life. So coming out to the summary, herbal medicinal products like all other drugs have to fulfill the legal requirements with regard to quality, indicating the stability testing. Due to the natural origin, the analytics of all types of extract is challenged by a complex matrix requiring a complex sample preparation. There are generally no differences between specifications set of HMPs and chemically defined APIs, whereas special nature of herbal products shall be taken into consideration while carrying out or designing the new guidelines for stability testing. In many cases, constituents have a low concentration and also different concentration on different location, which is called a geographical variation in the chemical constituents. Therefore, tests like uniformity of mass, identification by coloring agents, etc. can be omitted. So coming out to the conclusion, herbal medicinal products have a number of characteristics that clearly differentiate them from chemically defined medicinal products, and therefore specific stability guidelines are needed to be established which will cover particular aspects that existing specific herbal guidelines and general guidelines on stability do not cover. So there is a need of special guidelines for herbal medicinal products, which are to be for herbal medicinal products, which are to be established by both ICH and both WHO for herbal medicinal product, taking into consideration the exceptions or the limitations uh, related with the herbal medicinal products. So these are the references: pharmacognosy and phytochemistry by Professor Khadbadi, review article from Dr. Anupam Kumar Sachan and Ashutosh Kumar, and there are other references also. So this is all about the herbal drug testing procedures. So thank you so much for your patience. In case of any more detail or any difficulty, you can contact me at my email address, which is rahulksji@gmail.com. Or thank you so much. Thank you so much for your patience. Thank you.